Hey, Natsu here. So second try to recording this. Part 4.1 of What If Deku Had a Miraculous. Last time I tried to record this, it was about 1 hour long, but all 3 times I tried to record it, it basically was corrupted. So now I have a tool on my laptop to record, so hopefully it won't be corrupted anymore. And yeah, so the reason I put 4.1 is because I'm separating the video in 2. So instead of a full hour video, I'm going to separate it in 2 parts. So yeah. In the last part, we did the test with Aizawa, who basically, saw that his quirk only worked on half of Deku's quirk. Deku gave a half-ass excuse like, oh, it's not my quirk, I'm basically borrowing it, so it might be breaking because of that. And then All Might basically gave a better one, which was, yeah, but they're fused with the item and sharing their power through a suit they make, so it might break because of that, which was a lot more believable in the ears of Aizawa. So, after that, you have, the test with All Might. Deku, not needing really a hero suit, basically has, for his hero suit, he's basically just in civilian outfit. And basically just transform whenever. Later, he's going to get a true suit because something will happen. And basically someone's going to tell him, yeah, no, you need to have a suit for when you only use one of your quirks. So later it's going to do that, but for now he basically just has civilian outfits and transforms when needed. So basically he was the first one outside. Everyone else has the same suits that they had in the original, and there's basically just Deku, who, when everyone arrived, was looked at weird because why are you in civilian outfits? Well, still in your school clothes. Even though they know that he can transform. So, after a bit, Deku... Wait, I just realized something. Yeah, no matter. So, Deku basically was told that it just looks weird right now, and he gave his reason, which is, yeah, but I won't actually need a hero suit since every time I go hero I just transform using one of my Kwamis, which right now he has 3 if I remember correctly, which are Plague, Sass, and Long, which are the Cat of Destruction, the Snake of Time, and the Dragon of Perfection. So, yeah. All Might explains what they're going to do. Hero versus villains. But he made a small change. Instead of being, yes, it's still 2v2, but and 2 heroes, 2 villains, but instead of choosing teams at random, he basically told people who they wanted to be with, after just simply saying, okay, you are villains, you are heroes, by choosing that by, random. So the only reason I do that is that Bakugo. You know what? No, I'm going to switch something from my script. It's still going to be at random, but there's two people who are swapped. Deku is in villain mode with Uraraka against Momo and Tsuyu. After that, put the others where you want them. I don't really care. I'm just going to say that, yeah, no. So, Deku and Ochako will have to defend the bomb from Momo and Tsuyu. They're going to go first. The others, I won't really talk about them for how they do stuff, so yeah. But basically, when they start, Momo and Tsuyu basically just think we have to be careful because of Deku's quirk, which can basically just boost his entire body to be overpowered, or can literally use an ability to break anything, an ability to revert anything, and a third ability that they're not sure yet, because they know he has 3, but not everyone saw what happened during the entrance exam, so they just know that he has 3 special abilities, which come from the animals, but one of them is still unknown, and very scary because of that. So both of them decide to go in at the same time and try to just go up. Deku basically told Ochako that what they need to do is send Ochako in. What she wants to know is why she needs to go, and Deku says that she doesn't need to stop them, just needs to basically slow them down, because as long as they arrive with less than 5 minutes left, he can basically make sure that they never win with his ability to turn back time, which she basically saw it as a good idea. Deku did not give her a miraculous, so she basically just has her own body and quirk to do it. Which, yeah, it's pretty bad. But I will say it in a specific way, it is a good thing. Basically, all Deku said was, make one of them float. That's all you need to do. Doesn't matter which one it is, as long as it's harder for them to move. So she left to go try and see if she can slow them down. Basically, after a little while, Momo and Tsuyu decided to separate to see if they can cover, because they know they can cover more ground. Tsuyu ran into Uraraka, which basically just told Tsuyu that either Deku is also left the room, or he's in the room, which means that Momo will either run into him while they're in close quarters, because, well, they're not in a room, just in the hallway, or she's going to meet him in a room, which either of those can be pretty bad for her, depending on what it is. Since, except for Ochako, All Might, Bakugo, and Nezu, not everyone knows that, oh yeah, if I use it once, I basically revert back 5 minutes later. So they just think, okay, he can destroy everything. That's bad. And basically that's it. So you basically just think, okay, I don't have to stop her, I just have to make sure she doesn't go back to help Izuku. If I can stop her, that's a good thing. So their battle basically starts, and yeah, let's just say that for a while they hold the other back. That's basically it. While Deku's waiting, he made a Unify. He used both Plague and Long. Not Long, Sass. He didn't start either of their powers, just because, well, even if one of them enters, as long as it's not 5 minutes, as long as 5 minutes aren't left, the Sass will basically be useful for a while, but not as good as possible. So it's basically hard to use. And Plague, yeah, it could be useful for a few things, but if you use it here, he would basically or be breaking the bomb or the entire building, or, well, killing someone. So that's bad. Basically, he mostly uses it to hide Long's ability for a while from the other student, just for if there's more combat and stuff like that. So he doesn't know, and he just wants to be sure for now. Even though Long would have been a lot better if you look at it in a certain way. But in another way, it would be a lot weaker. Just because, oh yeah, I can turn into one of those 4 elements, one of those 3 elements, but only one for each, and after that it's done. So yeah, kind of out a bit. So after a little while, where there's still like 6 minutes left, Momo enters the room. When she sees Deku, she just thinks, okay, so Otako's out, maybe Tsuyuma ran into her. She doesn't know yet that, yes, they'd run into each other, but she doesn't know what might be happening. So, after a small amount of time, basically Momo was just looking around. Deku was just waiting, since if he can buy time for it to only have 5 minutes left or less, he could use Ouroboros and basically just win no matter what. So that's good for him. So after like 4 seconds of her just looking around, she basically tries to create a weapon, well, more like a whip or chains, to try and see if she can kind of attack from a long range without hurting him too much. She tried to attack Deku, which Deku used One for All, as well as, well, the already boosted capacities from the Kwamis, well, Miraculous, and basically just grabs the whip and basically sends back just kind of waves it to basically hit Momo back with it. Momo lets go of it and starts running around the room to try and see what she can do, and basically creates small smoke bombs that she then creates something to basically light them, then just throw them to try and blind Deku to stop him from actually seeing her go to the bomb. When they started to do smoke, Deku basically just did a flick using One for All, pushing a huge amount of winds, breaking the windows, and pushing all of the smoke out. Momo was about to go for the bomb when that happened, pushing her out of the way, and Deku basically decided to do, yeah, no, I need Ouroboros, and basically started it. All Might told him that once he did that, he doesn't want to see him basically push or use it after she wins, which Deku will do either way because, hey, even if I lose, as long as I'm able to touch it, I still win. So he doesn't say it, but he thinks of it. And basically, for Deku, for about 3 or 4 tries, Momo basically is able to use different tactics, more smoke bombs, different things to directly attack him, with Deku basically moving around, where every time she touches the bomb, All Might says she wins, and Deku uses Ouroboros to go back to before and then towards those plans every time. Because of that, All Might doesn't know, everything's okay, and Deku suddenly realized that, you know what? I can use that to my advantage, and basically launch Cataclysm. The moment he says that, All Might grabs the mic telling him not to use it because it's dangerous, and Deku basically just touched the ground with it. But he doesn't use it at full power, far from it. Basically just enough to break, the ground under them. The floor itself, basically. Making the bomb fall, Deku grabs it and basically starts running with it, going in the halls, which Momo can't really catch up to that. After a bit time passes, and Deku just realized that, yeah, if something bad would have happened, he would have used Ouroboros and just revert back the thing. So everything was okay. But still, that could have been a lot worse. When that's finished, he remembers never hearing Ochako or Tsuyu being out, which he basically just kind of started going out, as well as Momo, Tsuyu, and Ochako, and outside he asked how the battle went, without actually knowing if they did battle. But he just kind of took it as a guess, since he didn't see either of them after Ochako left. And basically, Tsuyu was kind of able to restrict Ochako, but Ochako basically stuck her in the air, and because her tongue was all she could use to try and move around, until she, sticking to walls and stuff like that, but it was a lot still harder because of the anti-gravity. And since she wasn't able to put the bands around Ochako to stop her, and say that she was captured, it was basically more of either of them trying to move around, Ochako being kind of knocked out a bit, but not wrapped, and Tsuyu basically trying to find her way. So they won, and the way All Might said that, how things could have been better, they just said that For Deku, they don't really know what he did for a while, because for them it could have been his first try, but they don't know that. So they basically tell him that for his tactic it was basically good, but that when he broke the ground he was reckless, since his power could destroy a lot more if not controlled. So Deku did say sorry for that. Then they looked at Momo and they told her that the same thing as for Deku. Since they don't know how many times he tried and tried and tried again, thanks to one of his powers, they can't really tell her that she did something bad or not. Since, from what they see, every time Deku was doing something to counter what she was doing, she was almost instantly doing something else, which was seen as good. Then they went for Ochako and Tsuyu, and they said that what Ochako did was a bit reckless, since her quirk is good in certain situations, but without anything around, it can be hard to do anything. So a room would be better. Though she was able to make sure that Tsuyu had problems, since she didn't let go of the anti-gravity, so Tsuyu basically had trouble moving without pushing herself off, since she can already stick to walls and ceilings, but sorry about that. When it comes to getting off of them, if she stops grabbing them to it, she needs to use her tongue then, and basically it's still hard to control, so she was out of the game. Like I said, for the others I won't really speak of what happens, so see it as you want. All I'm going to say is that Bakugo's team did win, so I'm just going to put it like that. So next off, sorry about that. Next off is when the reporters try to get in, and then that all of the students starts running. That basically happens the same, since students are dumb, and the moment there's an alarm, they start running. So in the next part, that's going to be around 40 minutes long, since it's going to be the USJ, and that I have a few things to talk about in there. So hope you liked this. This was part 4.1. I'm going to leave a link to my Discord in the description. If you have anything to say, any questions, anything, put them in the comment section. I'm going to go read them. So hope you liked it. Leave a like if you did. Natsu, out!